So can the Commission on Human Rights file a case with the Philippine Supreme Court questioning the withdrawal from the ICC?
Well, hypothetically, yes. I don't see any law that would prevent the Commission from doing so.
So are you planning?
Well, we have not yet come to that point of deciding. But then there's that issue of, you should make a distinction between the ability or the capacity or the standing to file such a case, questioning the withdrawal, and the wisdom in doing that as a Commission on Human Rights. So the wisdom aspect that will need to be deliberated upon. But that having been said, there are many parties who can bring the case to the Supreme Court and raising the same issue. It does not need to be the Commission.
What is your position? Let's say if you were to discuss this among the commissioners, what would your position be? Should the Commission file, or should it just let other parties file a case with the Supreme Court? On the wisdom part.
My personal?
Yeah.
Okay, you're asking for my personal opinion. Well, first, if you are after resolving the issue, and since there are many interested parties who are willing to bring that issue to the Supreme Court, then I would say that the CHR need not be the party, because the issue will be resolved anyway. But there's another bigger consideration insofar as I'm concerned, because I would rather leave that issue hanging so that later, because the fear is that the Supreme Court might decide in favor, I mean, for human rights advocates, for those who believe that we should be a member of the ICC, there is a certain risk in bringing it to the Supreme Court now, given the political atmosphere. I don't even say legal, the political atmosphere where the Supreme Court is operating now. There's a big risk that the Supreme Court will say that the withdrawal does not need the consent of the Senate. And if that decision is made by the Supreme Court, then that will effectively make valid the withdrawal. I would rather leave the issue hanging so that later on we can say that we never withdrew in the first place, following the example of South Africa.
Yes,